What happened to the missing person from school? When Principal Giles came on the morning announcements and said nobody could walk home alone after the tragic events at Friday's football game, I had no idea what he was talking about. I'd skipped the game to play video games and figured maybe there was a fight or something. All students must have a direct ride to their houses, he said in that serious voice he only used for real emergencies. No exceptions. Everyone in my chemistry class started whispering and checking their phones. I leaned over to ask Brandon what happened, but he just shook his head and looked worried. That's when I noticed Veronica's seat was empty. Veronica never missed school. She was the type of person who showed up with pneumonia and still aced every test. Varsity cheer captain and headed for valedictorian. We used to build blanket forts together in elementary school, but hadn't really talked since freshman year when she got popular, and I stayed invisible. At lunch, I found my friend Maya and asked if she knew what happened to Veronica. Her eyes got huge, and she pulled me to a corner table. "You seriously don't know?" she whispered. "That's why we can't walk home alone." My stomach felt weird. Veronica wasn't the type to cause drama. Her mom had split when she was 12, so she basically raised her two younger brothers while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. She worked at the movie theater on weekends to save for college. Running away or doing something crazy just wasn't in her DNA. Halfway through lunch, my phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't recognize. "Hey, it's V. Don't tell anyone. You're the only person I can trust. Meet me at the old food mart on Riverside at 4 o'clock. My hands started shaking. The abandoned supermarket had been closed for 3 years. Why would perfect, responsible Veronica want to meet there? I thought about showing someone the text, but something made me keep quiet. The rest of the day crawled by. Teachers kept stopping mid-sentence like they wanted to address what happened but couldn't. Police cars were parked outside the main entrance. When the final bell rang, everyone rushed to find their rides while I waited for my mom. She pulled up 20 minutes late as usual. I told her I needed to go to Brandon's house for a group project, and she dropped me off without asking questions. As soon as her car turned the corner, I started walking toward Riverside. The food mart was only a mile away, but it felt like 10. The parking lot was empty except for weeds growing through cracks in the asphalt. Most of the windows were boarded up and graffiti covered the walls. I pushed through the broken automatic doors and called out Veronica's name. "Back here," her voice came from somewhere deep in the store. I followed the sound past empty shelves and displays filled with dust. My shoes crunched on broken glass. In what used to be the bakery section, I found her sitting on an overturned shopping cart. Her cheer uniform was torn and dirty. Dark circles made her eyes look hollow. Before I could say anything, she jumped up and hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. She smelled like sweat and something metallic. When she pulled back, I saw dried blood under her fingernails. "What happened to you?" I asked. Instead of answering, she turned and pointed to the corner. That's when I saw the duffel bag. It was unzipped just enough to show stacks of cash bundled with rubber bands. More money than I'd ever seen in real life. Movement behind the bag caught my eye. A man was lying on the floor with rope around his wrists and ankles. Duct tape covered his mouth, but his eyes were open and staring at me. He was wearing a referee uniform from the football game. Veronica followed my gaze and shrugged like this was totally normal. She picked up a piece of rebar from the floor and tested its weight in her hand. "That happened," she said. Full story on channel linked below.